Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you guys how to make this desktop React app using AI. It took me about 10 to 15 minutes. So using AI, you can produce app pretty quickly. The tool I use is VS Code with the extension GitHub Copilot. I believe GitHub Copilot extension right now using ChatGPT 3. You can use OpenAI ChatGPT 4, and I believe the code in ChatGPT 4 is a lot better. For those you guys who are unfamiliar with the GitHub Copilot extension, you can get it from extension, and this is the one I am using. I believe you install GitHub Copilot. It's also install GitHub Copilot chat for you. So to use it, we're gonna go down here in chat, and we'll go into the file we want to edit. On the left is where you type in the prompt of what you want. For example, I'll say write me a for loop. Press enter, and we'll write a for loop for you. And we want to insert into the code. You just press this, insert in at cursor, and it will insert the code generated into your project for you. So the objective of this exercise is we're going to do minimal coding on the actual files and let ChatGPT and GitHub Copilot do all the work. And let's see how that goes. And the app we're making today is a cooking school dashboard app. So the concept is simple. It allows a user to add a student to the school. So for example, Bart Simpsons. Allow the user to add a cooking class. For example, Italian cooking. And then allow the user to register a student to any of the classes. And you can view the registration list. So in order to create a cross-platform desktop app, we're going to use Electron JS. To accelerate the process, we're going to use the Electron React Boilerplate. Electron work in processes. So the graphical process, we're going to use the renderer process. We're going to use React JS, and we're going to use the Material UI's component library. And next part, when this is completed, we're going to connect it to an SQLite database. Some system requirements, you will need to have Node.js on your machine. We'll be using VS Code and GitHub Copilot extension, and you're going to need SQLite on your machine. I would say the React portion of this is pretty beginner friendly. You also need basic Node.js JavaScript, and you also need some basic experience with ChatGPT. The app gonna have 7 components. The dashboard component is a primary component, and then it contains 6 functional components: create student, student list, create a class list, register a student to a class, and the registration list. The first step is to download the Electron React Boilerplate. You can directly download the zip, but I'm gonna use a git clone. So on the terminal, just type git clone and paste in URL, and we're gonna do cooking school app, and then press enter. I'm not gonna actually run this because I already have this on my computer. Next, after you create it, just cd and go into the cooking school app directory, and from here run npm install. Next, we're gonna install Material UI. Go on the official Material UI site and go down to installation and just copy these and then paste and then hit enter. Okay, now that we have everything installed, let's start coding. The prompt I gave it is, I'm writing a React app for a cooking school. I want to be able to add a student, list all student, add a class, list all classes, register a student to a class, and list all of the registration. What function component should I have? And write me a dashboard component. And it gave me back 6 components I need to have, and it gave me an example of the dashboard. Right now, I'm gonna delete everything in source renderer app.tsx, and then I'm gonna insert the code and press save. Next, I'm gonna create a file for each of those components. My next prompt is, using movie/material, write me the components for student list and add student. Notice how the data returning TS6 this time, which is TypeScript. So I'm gonna adjust it a little bit. Add student to add student, and then student list to add to student list, I'll press save for now. And then I'm gonna change the extension to TSX. Okay, I think we're ready to take a quick look of our app right now. So I'm gonna remove the imports, and I'm gonna remove these 4 components for now. So I'm gonna only keep these 2. I'm gonna update the import for this and update the import for this, and I'm gonna press save. Next, I'm gonna go back to the terminal, and I'm gonna do npm start. And there we have it, our new app. I don't really like the little dev panel on the right, so I'm gonna show you guys how to disable it. We are going to go back to VS Code. We're gonna go to main. We're gonna go to main.ts. We're gonna scroll down to if it's debug require Electron debug. We're gonna comment this for now, and then there we go. Going back to the code, my next prompt is using movie, write me the components for class list and add class. I'm gonna press run. Okay, very nice. Next, I'm gonna insert the code for class list. Press save, and then insert the code for add class. Press save, and then I'm gonna change the file extension again from JS to TSX. There we go. And I'm gonna go back to app.tsx, and I'm gonna include now class list and add class. Press save. Now let's look at our new app. And now we have the ability to add student and add class. And finally, I'm going to ask it to using Movie to write me the components for registration list and register student. And there we go. We have the code for registration list and register student. I'm going to go to registration list, insert the code, press save, and then register student, insert the code, press save. I'm going to quickly change the file extensions. And then finally go back to app. I'm going to insert register student, and then registration list. Press save, and then go back and look at it. Now we have all 6 components in. Okay, my next prompt is using Material UI, enhance the dashboard, give it a beautiful, colorful, modern look. And there we have it. I'm going to replace app.tsx, and then press save. And let's look at it. It's not as colorful as I was hoping, but this is not bad for now. Okay, I'm not too big a fan of it. I want to enhance it a little bit. So my next prompt is going to be, I want the dashboard to have 3 columns and make the spacing a little bit nicer. Let's see what we get. Okay, I'm going to highlight this and then insert the new code. Press save. Okay, let's look a little bit nicer. Okay, my next prompt is using MUI material theme, give it a nicer look. Notice no longer giving us the full code anymore. I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm going to just copy this, and then I'm going to insert this whole set of code, and then I'm going to paste it back here. Let's see what we get for now. Okay, we're going to have a little more fun with this. My next prompt is going to be modify the create theme, which is the theme object for Material UI. To make the whole dashboard look beautiful and colorful, I want to center the theme around red and orange. Make sure to keep the color harmony. I'll press run. Okay, and this is what it gave us. I'm going to highlight create theme. I'm going to insert this new code, press save, and this is what it looked like. Okay, it's not bad. I'm actually not liking how squished up this is, so I'm going to ask go to add student file. I'll highlight everything. Again, I'll ask it, does text view and the button are too close? Can you space it to make it look nicer? I'll press run. Okay, it seems it added a little bit of styling for us. I'm gonna highlight everything. I'm gonna insert. I'll press save, and I'm gonna look at it. Okay, it looks a lot better. Okay, so it seems the main thing it added here is this little styling line. So I just gonna copy this for now, and I'm gonna paste it on the box component. And then let's look at it. Okay, everything is a lot nicer now. Next, I'm gonna ask you to space this out a little bit to make it look a little bit nicer. So I'm gonna highlight them. I'm gonna ask you the same thing. These two cards are too close. Can you space it, make it look nicer? I'm gonna run. Okay, and this is a new code it gave us. Let's insert it, press save, and it looks much better. I'm gonna do the same for these two also. Next, I'll go back to here. I'm going to highlight the remaining 4 components. And then I'm gonna ask it, can you apply the same changes to these codes? Okay, so let's insert it, press save, and there we have it. Now it's a lot nicer with the spacing. Next, I'm gonna have a little more fun with it. I'm going to ask it, can you put a little pie emoticon next to the title? Okay, I meant this one. And then press run. Okay, and here we have an updated code for us. I'm gonna press insert, press save, and see how it looks like. Nice. Now I have a little pie here. I'm gonna add an extra pie on the other end. Nice. To have one final graphical touch, I'm gonna ask it. I'll go back here. I'm gonna highlight all of these. I'm gonna ask it, can you put a little emoticon next to the add student, student list, add class, class list, register student, and registration list, and run. Okay, it gave me little icons here, which I like, and now directly insert into it, and I press save, and voila, look. Not bad, not bad. I don't 100% agree with the design, but it's definitely pretty good for something made 100% by ChatGPT and GitHub Copilot. Okay, so right now these don't actually work. For example, if I were to type a name in it, it doesn't actually add it to the list. So I'm gonna use ChatGPT to implement this function for me. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell it to rewrite the student list to include an ID field. Okay, and I'm gonna insert the new code. I'm gonna do the same with the other two. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you to rewrite class list to include an ID field. Okay, insert, save, and then lastly, rewrite registration list with an ID field. Okay, I'm gonna insert and press save. So nothing has changed for now. Next, I'll go back to add student. I'm gonna tell it to rewrite handle submit so that I add a student to the student list and press run. Okay, so we got something pretty interesting here. It's telling us that in order to add a student to student list, the two components need to have the same ancestor component. They call it the parent component. For our case, it's actually our dashboard component. So we're gonna change that. We're gonna copy the students array, and we're gonna put it inside dashboard. And then we need to make sure that for add student, we need to have set students. We're gonna update it with set student. And for student list, we're gonna update it to have the input prompt students. Now press save. And then I'll go back to add student.tsx. I'm gonna highlight everything. I'm gonna insert the new code. I'm gonna press save. Okay, so it's telling us use state is not defined. So we forgot to include it in our parent component. So I'm just gonna copy and paste this and import here. Press save. Okay, Copilot didn't tell us this, but we also need to include students inside the student list component. So make sure you do that. And you can remove this with actual data. Press save. Okay, and let's try it out. Let's try Homer Simpsons. Nice. And next we're gonna do the same for class list and add class. I'm gonna go to add class and I'm gonna tell it rewrite handle submit so that I add the class to class list. and it's giving us similar instruction, telling us to add the new code into the parent component, which is our dashboard. So I'm gonna copy just this, paste it here. I'm gonna update the add class to make sure it has set classes in it, and class list to have the states classes right here. I'll press save, and I need to make sure that class list include the classes. I'm gonna remove these dummy data, press save. I'm gonna go to add class, and I'm going to insert the new code, and then check this out. I'm gonna have Italian cooking and add class. There we are. Okay, very nice. Lastly, I'm going to update the register student. I'm going to tell it to update the handle submit so I register a student to a class and add it to registration list. Let's run. Okay, so it gives me the same instruction for the parent component. So I'm going to go replace register student with the new states, and I'll replace this. I'm gonna put the states into registration list, and now I need to make sure that in registration list using the real registrations, and I'm gonna delete the dummy data. And back to app.tsx, I need to make sure I have registrations up here, and press. I'm gonna delete these dummy data. I'll press save. Okay, now we're gonna look at the register student component. I actually don't like how I removed the dropdown and replaced it with a text field. So we're not going to use this just yet, but I will still put set registration in here. I'll press save. Okay. In addition, I want to use the actual list of students and see how auto completes with me. So I want to use the actual list of students and classes. And I'm gonna go back to app.tsx. Okay, I'm gonna go back to app.tsx, and I'll make sure that we're using the real students and the real classes. I'll press save. So I'll go back to register student, and I'm gonna tell it to update register student component so that it uses data from students and classes for the drop-down menus. I'm gonna press run. Okay, and I want to insert the new code in and press save. I'm gonna check it out. Okay, and right now it's using the actual student list from this list. I'm gonna put bot sim and add student, and now we see bot Simpson. I'm gonna do French cooking add class, and I'm gonna see French cooking. Now let's try adding bot Simpson to French cooking. Notice it doesn't do anything. I'm gonna make update to register student to get it to working. So my prompt now is update handle submit so that to use set registration to register a student to a class. I'm gonna press run, and I'm gonna insert the new code. I'm gonna press save. Now let's try it out. And now I'm gonna put bot Simpson and French cooking and register, and there we go. Okay, let's fully test it out. I'm gonna have Jon Snow. So right now we see Jon Snow not here. I'm gonna add student, and now he's here. And notice how we don't have baking 101 and French cooking. I'm gonna add pie making and add class, and now we have pie making here. I'm gonna select pie making. I'm gonna give bot Simpson. I'm gonna register him. Now bot Simpson is registered pie making. And this is it, guys. We completed the app. So next step, we're gonna connect this app to a backend database using SQLite. So see you guys then.